Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison video between two Ferrari F430s. I'm going to be doing a review between my Hot Wheels Ferrari F430 Spider. If you haven't seen the in-depth review of this model, please go and check it out, it's on the channel. And then I'm going to be comparing the 143 scale Ferrari F430 Coupe between the two. Now 143 and 118 scale are probably the most popular scales that most collectors go for. 112 scales tend to be a bit too expensive, and anything smaller than 143 scales tend to be less popular as well. So these two scales tend to be the most in-demand scales that collectors like. So I'm going to be doing a comparison between the 143 and the 118 version. Both of them are very similar in price, even though the scales are different. The Hot Wheels one was around £30, I believe, and the 143 one was exactly the same. The 143 one does come with a nice plexiglass case with Ferrari on, which I've just taken off for this video, just so I can show you all the details and do a good in-depth video between these two models. Now at first glance they look pretty much identical, disregarding the Coupe and the Spider, but I think there are some differences between the two, and I will show you guys that in a moment. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think with these two models, what scale you prefer, and do you like the Ferrari F430? I mean, the Ferrari F430 is one of my all-time favourite Ferraris. I think it looks absolutely amazing, and even though these are getting on for about 15 years old, I still think they look really nice, and they're one of my all-time favourite Ferraris ever made. So let's start off with the front of the 143 scale. Now these models here by IXO are pretty detailed. They make quite a lot of Ferrari models. I've got their Ferrari 612 Scaglietti, the Enzo, and a few other ones in my collection, which I'll all do reviews on. But this one, the F430, is really nicely done. It's also finished in the Rosso Corsa, the famous Ferrari red, like the 118 version. The lights are done very nicely. You can also see the main headlight and the orange indicators, which looks really nice, and the central badge as well. Even though they're really small, these details, they're really precise and really accurate with their details. So the badge looks really good. You can see the prancing horse, the little Italian flag on the top, and they've just covered all the detail in that badge, which really makes the model look really nice. Now obviously these air intakes here, they're just plastic. There's no mesh in the grills or anything like that. Now some of the more expensive 143 models will probably have mesh in the grills, but to be honest, when you display it on my desk sideways from a side profile, you don't really notice any of these small details that are missing. I always have these 143 models just on my desk in their case. I just think it looks really nice like that. But yeah, this whole front end is very nice by IXO. Good details on the lights and the badge, and just overall the paint application on the model is really nicely done. I mean, all Ferraris pretty much look really nice in red, and it's pretty much the same with the Hot Wheels version. I won't go into too much depth on the Hot Wheels version because I've already done a review on it. I just wanted to do a back-to-back comparison between the 118 and the 143 version, but it's pretty much exactly the same as the 143. But you do have these mesh-like grills for the air intakes. I think the badge is slightly better, but that's only because it's bigger, so you can probably see more detail there. And obviously this is a fully opening die-cast model, so the bonnet opens up, the doors open up, and the engine opens up as well. If you want to see all that detail, please go and check out my in-depth review, and that just shows you everything you need to know about this Hot Wheels model. So you also have these little details. You have the F430 embossed in the side mirrors on the 143, and you've also got it on the 118, which is a really nice touch. Now both of these models are actually wearing the same wheels, which is nice as well. These very silver, chromy-like 10-spoke wheels. I think they look really nice, and they have pretty much exactly the same detail in between the two. You both can have the Ferrari centre cap in the middle on the 143. It's a bit more difficult to see, but it is there. You have a nice wheel, nice 10-spoke silver wheel, good detail on the disc. I'll try and zoom in the best I can just to show you guys. Very good detail on the disc, and you can see a black brake caliper, which is very rare on 143 models because they don't really have all this detail in 143 models, especially with the calipers. On the 118 model, this is pretty much standard, but the 143 models, they don't really have the caliper detail, but it's nice to see it on the F430 by IXO. Also, good detail on the badge on the side with the indicator stalk just below it. Again, on the Hot Wheels version, it is exactly the same, pretty much exactly the same, but the indicator stalk is it's not directly below the badge like the 143. It's a bit off to the side by the door, but small changes like that is absolutely fine. Now, there's a bit of detail on the 143 that's not on the 118 model. On the 143, you can see the door handle here, and you can see the key entry just below it. The Hot Wheels version hasn't got anything like that, but again, it's just part of the extra detail that you do find on these 143 models. Overall, the door lines are very nice. This is a sealed model, nothing opens, but I think the lines are very neatly done by IXO. You've got the lower air intake at the bottom, which is nicely done, and you've also got the air intake at the top as well. There's no grills in either of these two air intakes, but it's just filled with black plastic, but I think it looks, again, very realistic, and you don't really notice it that much. Now, both of these models have exactly the same interior. They both have, obviously, the Rosso Corsa exterior, but they have the crema interior finish. On the 143, it's actually really detailed. I'll try and get a good light on it, but it's very detailed in there. The whole steering wheel is nicely detailed. You've got the driver Manantino on there. You can see the handbrake, the gear lever, the seats done in crema, the footwells are done in a crema finish as well. You can see the air intakes, the centre dash. It's all very highly detailed inside the 143, and same with the 118 version as well. Exactly the same. I'd probably give the edge over on interior detail on the 143 model. I think you can just see a lot more detail in that model, and it's just a lot more precise as well with the Manantino, the steering wheel, the seat belts are even nicely done, and the overall finish is superb by IXO. So let's come round the rear of the cars. Now, engine detail is where also there's a bit of a gap between the two models. Now the 143 sorry, has an amazing engine detail compartment. I mean, you can see the engine, which is really nice, and you can see all the mounting underneath it, and the support brackets all around it. The sides of the engine bay also finished in this grille material, which is good, aids cooling, and it's done in this very nice clear plastic as well. Whereas the Hot Wheels version is pretty similar, but I don't think it's as detailed as the 143. You don't see any of the mounting underneath. Let me just actually open it up. I mean, it's just so I can get a better view of it. If it stays up, sometimes it doesn't always stay up. Okay, so when you open it up, you can see a bit more detail, but I think the detail on the 143 model is more superior. It's just better. You can see more, even when you open it up. I think it looks more realistic on the 143 version. I mean, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments what you think about the engine detail, which is better. But overall, I think the 143 model has edged the 118 on engine detail. Now, the rear of the models, again, extremely similar as you would expect, but also some little details. Both of these models have the Ferrari sticker at the rear, Ferrari in text, the Ferrari badge in the middle. Both have very good rear lights and rear indicator lights. The 143 model has exactly the same rear diffuser, good finish on the exhausts, and it has a really nice brake light at the rear as well. So this light here doesn't really look as good as the 143 version. I think the 143 version has slightly better details at the rear of the model. It's a bit more finer, a bit more precise, and a bit more realistic. Whereas I think the Hot Wheels version is not as nicely done in terms of realism. I don't think the lights is nicely done. And again, with the engine detail, I think there's more detail in the IXO model compared to the 118 version. So, I mean, both of these models are really nice, and I do really like the 118 version and the 143 version. They both pretty much are identical in price, but I would love to hear from you guys which one you prefer, which one you would buy if you could buy them, and which scales you guys prefer. Now, I do the in-depth reviews on the 118 models, and I do in-depth review on my 143 models. I try and space them out, so I don't just do loads of 118 content and then 1 to 43. I try and do every other video different scale, because I know there's collectors that may have subscribed over the 143s or the 118s. So yeah, just let me know in the comments which one you prefer, any details that I may have missed that you guys like, and any videos that you wish to see in the future. I've already got a couple of requests to do a few videos, which I will do next week. And yeah, until next time, see you guys later.